What's up YouTube, this is Mathos97, and I hope you have all had a great past several days, nearing the end of 2015. As we do approach the new year, 2016, it's just a few hours away, at least in my time zone. I'm sure by the time this video is uploaded in other parts of the world, it'll already be 2016, so in that case, hope you're all having a great 2016. But I just wanted to discuss the state of the channel at this point in time and going forward towards the future. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the SummerSlam pay-per-view, which at the time I'm doing this commentary, I haven't uploaded it yet, but it will be uploaded by this point. It would have been uploaded several days ago. And I just gotta say once more that I sincerely apologize for the delay on that SummerSlam pay-per-view. My original goal was to upload the video on the 12th of December, and as you can tell, that I missed that deadline by 2 weeks and a day. I missed it by 15 days. Yeah, that was a bit disappointing. Part of that was because I underestimated the amount of work, the amount of time that it would take to go into this video, but most of it was because I just didn't have the free time available where I could record commentaries. And I've said this before that I live in an apartment, so I try to do my videos when the house isn't like full of people, because that would interfere with what they're doing, they would interfere with what I'm doing, and I don't really want to stifle that. So it's just easier to do it when I have the free time available to me. But just to give you guys a little bit of an idea as to how things were, what the whole issue was. I originally, when the commentary audio was screwed up, which I had a couple of videos where the audio was really bad and I had to go back and redub over those, so that pushed it back a little bit further. The stupid tech issues, which I figured out, and we're looking to make that better now. But I originally did two parts. I did the first two matches for SummerSlam, and originally I had done the commentaries for those on November 27th, and I wasn't able to record another commentary for another 2 weeks. I wasn't able to get when I had to go back and redub over those and then get more commentaries done, I wasn't able to do that until December 12th. December 12th. That's 2 weeks. Yeah, there were some issues there. So that was the main reason why SummerSlam was delayed by 2 weeks, because there was that 2 week period where I couldn't really do any commentaries. And at that point, I wanted to focus on getting the promos done and such, and I also had to work on getting videos ready to go once I got SummerSlam uploaded, so that it wasn't another 2 weeks until I was able to upload another video. So I do apologize. I sincerely apologize for the delay on SummerSlam. I didn't mean for it to take this long, but on the bright side, this is going to be one hell of a way to end 2015, I gotta be honest. I mean, that pay-per-view, I haven't uploaded it yet. I'm about to do the render for it, but I wanted to get this update so that I can have it for December 31st. Because this is really important. I have a couple things that I want to talk about. So I tend to ramble sometimes, so I'm going to put timestamps down in the description for all like the key points I'm going to discuss, just in case this gets away from me. Hopefully I can keep it reined in enough. But SummerSlam, I had a lot of fun making it. It was a bit of a headache at times, but I really wanted to experiment with a couple different things, try to create something really unique, something that I haven't done yet on the channel, and something that hasn't really been done on YouTube before. And I know the concept of a 2 out of 3 falls match or championship scramble seemed fairly simple, but the 2 out of 3 falls match wasn't necessarily that difficult. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen SummerSlam, spoilers for SummerSlam. But the championship scramble match, that was a bit more difficult. To have to play with time like that, it was different. It was definitely different, and when I decided to do that match, I wanted to kind of make up for what I missed out on in the 2K14 SummerSlam, where I was originally going to build up to a championship scramble, and only to find out that the match type wasn't in the game. So I had to quickly retcon it to a battle royal. which wasn't the greatest thing I've ever done, but really, that was around the point where I hadn't, even by that point, I didn't exactly know where I was going with the series in terms of direction, or style, production style for that matter. By this point now, though, I have that whole sort of thing, I've fleshed that out. For those of you who wonder, the question occasionally gets asked, or more of a request, I should say, is that I should simulate the matches. In case you're new to the channel, or the series, or anything, I don't do simulations. I hate simulating the matches, because my universe mode is scripted. 100% scripted. Well, I won't say 100%, because there are occasional things that happen, and then I decide to go with, like, if a match outcome doesn't play out the way I had planned, but I think I can make that work better for the storyline, then I'll do that. But really, other than that, for the most part, my universe mode is completely scripted. I plan out the matches, I know where I want to go with what, I have storylines planned out. I've already started planning ahead. Night of Champions, King of the Ring, Battleground, even Survivor Series, I'm laying the groundwork for that. Even as far up as WrestleMania, I've got plans that at least I'm laying down ideas for these future pay-per-views. Not necessarily what's going to happen. I can easily change my mind, as I have been doing over the past several months. Like, I've had, for example, the Seth Rollins storyline. I originally had an idea for that, had an idea where it was going to go, and that was back when, because he did the whole heel turn back at Payback, which was uploaded in August. It's forgetting me, I can't think of it at the time. But in the time that happened, where he actually, he turned heel, I had an idea, and since then, like, even shortly after that, I was making changes to the storyline and alterations, and now I've got an idea where I believe I'm going to go. I've got the idea planned out that I know where I'm going to go with that, and it's not just Seth Rollins, it's other characters as well, where I've changed things, I've changed my ideas on how I'm going to book them. But even now, I'm still thinking of new ideas, changing plans, so nothing that I have planned out is set in stone. It's just I have an idea of where I'm going forward, and I can make changes to that as I see fit, as I move along. But this brings me up to a very important point about Universe Mode, the future of Universe Mode. And that's the Divas division. Now, this is probably going to be an unpopular decision, and I'm not entirely satisfied with it myself, but in terms of the lack of talent and the lack of titles the Divas division has, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to cancel the Divas division. We're gonna have to end it, and that's disappointing for me, because I'm gonna miss out on the great talents because the Divas division has very talented competitors: Paige, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, all the ones down in NXT, and then as well you look at Nikki Bella, I'll even throw there's just a lot you can work with. Natalya, Tamina Snuka, there's a lot of talent I can work with, but at the same time, when you're looking at the Superstars roster, there's a good 60 plus people I can work with between Raw and SmackDown. And even then, I can throw in legends, I can bring up NXT talent, I can do trades, the WWE draft, to even spice things up. There's always something that can be happening with people, and even though I might not be able to use everybody, I can swap pieces in and out like a puzzle, and keep things diverse, keep things unique. With the Divas division, I have maybe a dozen to work with. And now that Creative Diva is there, that's a good option, but even still, that I don't have a whole lot to work with there, and there's only really one title they can pursue, and that's the Divas title. Now you might say, oh, well, you can just bring in a new title, and that fixes the problem right there, they have another title to go after. Well, that doesn't really solve the problem either, because then it brings it right back to the lack of talent. I only have a dozen or so people, if that. That's overestimating, even. But I can't very well just, because that splits the division in half. So I have 5 people going after the women's title, 5 people going after the Divas title. And yeah, I can switch them in and out, but that doesn't give much room for diverse matches on Raw, Main Event, or SmackDown. And ultimately, I can't really switch them with the male superstars. So it really limits the potential of the division. And I've been trying to do some unique things, especially this leading up to SummerSlam. I was trying to start to plan out more character development for the people on the roster, the likes of Emma, the Bella Twins, Naomi, anyone really on the roster. I was trying to work things out for them to create more complex characters within that division, so they're not just always pursuing the title. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. I feel like it's recycled. Even if I change out the competitors, flesh them out a little bit more, seems like a recycling of the same people. I only have so many pieces I can work with. Whereas the superstars, they can go after the tag team titles, the Intercontinental, US, WWE World Heavyweight, whatever the case is, they have things they can do, and I have plenty of storylines that don't even involve titles, because I have so many people I can work with, and I can swap them around, and always keep things diverse. And that's even in the confines of a single show. After that, I can expand out, and I can trade people, do a WWE draft, and move them around. There's more things I can do with that to keep things diverse, keep it interesting, keep it fresh. The Divas division just there's not enough depth there. There's not enough potential that I can work with. And I ultimately feel that this new direction I'm taking Universe Mode in, it really is a new era. I'm much more hands-on with the matches than I was even last year. I'm much more involved with each individual match, the audio, everything. So I feel as though keeping the Divas division around when the potential is completely stifled, it's counterproductive to what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to expand the series and make it bigger, make it more in-depth, make it more entertaining. And really, one thing that I really love the storytelling sort of aspect of not just wrestling, but just storytelling in general. And to have these characters who they can't do much and be interesting characters all the time when it's just sort of recycling the same thing over and over again, even when I try to mix things up. If I have these characters that don't have the same amount of potential as the rest of my characters, and I can't, at the end of the day, do a whole lot with them, I don't want to have these pointless characters that I can't use to full effect. So I don't know. I'm not entirely pleased with making this decision, but at the end of the day, I think it's the right decision to make. It's probably not a very popular decision to, people might be like, "Oh, you're a sexist. You're cutting out the women from your show." Ultimately, there are universe modes out there who don't even try to do anything with the division, but there's not much there you can do with at the moment. And that's also sort of a reflection on WWE's current product, but this isn't the type of video where I'm going to bash WWE. So, yes, I am disbanding the Divas division following Night of Champions. There's going to be a title match. I'm going to try to, I don't know, I'll do a send-off for the women in some capacity. But Night of Champions, that's going to be it. I've already recorded about halfway up to Night of Champions, and I didn't know I was doing this. It's something I've mulled over for a long time. I've been thinking about it, and I finally decided to pull the trigger. Now's as good a time as any. I'm making all these changes with Universe Mode. This might as well just be another one. And ultimately, I think it will be for the best. This way I can put more attention into the superstars, because on the match cards, when I throw in a Divas match, it doesn't seem to build to some grand scheme, some big plot, like all the other matches can. Even if I have a squash match with somebody, that can still build to a storyline for at least one of the characters. But with the Divas, it just seems like I'm taking spot away from people I'm already not using. I have guys like Fandango, Damien Sandow, Adam Rose. I have people, Curtis Axel as well, people that I don't get to use, and I even bring up that they're not being utilized, but I just don't have the space for them. And if I take away the Divas division, this does give me more of an opportunity to focus more on these characters that aren't getting the proper spotlight that I feel that they deserve. Ultimately, if I have this giant roster and I can't use everybody, I need to downsize. And this is as good a starting place as any. As much as I hate to cut the women out of my show, because there is a lot of talent there, but there's just... I have to do something in order to get all the superstars I want to be showcased. So that's what's up with the Divas division. I am going to cut it off at Night of Champions, like I said. And as for Universe Mode, we're going to continue to be more hands-on, more in-depth with the videos. SummerSlam was only the beginning. And even if Night of Champions doesn't quite have the exact same amount of hype as SummerSlam, even if it pales in comparison to the hype that SummerSlam had, it's still going to be a more realistic production. I'm going to be putting in work for promos. I'm going to be building into matches that is still building to overall stories or concluding stories. Not every pay-per-view can be the best, and lately it seemed that I've been throwing that line around willy-nilly. Like, Payback I thought was the best thus far. I've never said the best in general, but Payback was the best pay-per-view that I personally think I had put on at the time. Money in the Bank took it a step further. SummerSlam took it a step further. I can't continuously up myself because there are limitations I have to work with. But as for the future of Universe Mode, we are moving forward. We're going to make things bigger and better. Even if each individual pay-per-view is not better than the last, things are going to continue to get better for the series. So that's enough about Universe Mode. I'm already, as I'm looking at this commentary, I'm up to 18 minutes. I'm sure it'll be shorter. I'll have cut things out. But here's another topic that is frequently asked about. CAW Universe Mode, or the return of UCW. Now, I was originally going to have a CAW Universe Mode back for WWE 2K15. I did an update on that last year with the lack of creation suites and that stuff. I just was unable to really go through with that. It is now that I can confirm that I am not going to be doing a CAW Universe Mode for WWE 2K16, for 2K17. I'm canceling the idea. If I was going to do a CAW Universe Mode, I would be 100% involved in it. I would want it to be like an actual show. I would try to produce it like it's an actual show, not just an in-game product. Like, my current Universe Mode is sort of making steps towards being an actual production, but that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And with the other series ideas that I have going on, Career Mode, GM Mode, a CAW Universe Mode, I just don't have the time to dump into that kind of a series at the moment. And this sort of talks into how things are going at the moment in my real life, but I'll discuss that a little bit later. I just don't have the time to focus on a CAW Universe Mode and my current WWE Universe Mode and Career Mode and GM Mode. I can't do all that, and at the same time, I'm dividing my attention between all these different things. And while it's good to have options to keep myself occupied, keep things diverse, if I divide my attention up between too many series like I used to do in the past, everything is going to suffer. It's going to be every video, the quality will go down because I'll be dividing my attention up between so many different projects. And another reason why I decided not to do a CAW Universe Mode for the foreseeable future, if ever, is that creating logos, arenas, wrestlers, it's not really my thing. I'm not very interested in making the logos, making arenas, and I'm not very good at it either, to be honest. Right now, even while I'm trying to make a new attire for Zero for Career Mode for the next NXT Arrival episode, I'm not all that motivated to do it. It's just not something that interests me, and it's cool. I like designing things in Photoshop, but just moving it over to the game and applying that, and then having to do that for superstar after superstar after superstar, or for an arena, or logos, or championships, I just don't... it doesn't interest me. It just doesn't. And that's ultimately, if I'm not interested in the product that I'm trying to produce, it's not going to be enjoyable for me, and the series is going to suffer because of it. So, unfortunately, for those who've really been looking forward to a CAW Universe Mode, I'm going to put the rumors to bed right now. It's not happening. It just isn't. Not for the foreseeable future, anyway. And now I want to take the focus to Career Mode. So, Career Mode, I spoke about it a couple of episodes ago in the series where I didn't feel all that invested in the series. I still stand by that. Career Mode's not that interesting. It wasn't very good last year. It was horrible last year. This year it's better, but at the end of the day, controlling a single superstar isn't really my interest either. I know I talked about creating content, I wasn't too interested in that, but controlling a single person for anything, whether it's a wrestling game or a sports game, I just don't like the idea of being limited to a single person. And perhaps part of that just comes from me being very interested in the whole storytelling idea. I like controlling everything. I like controlling Zero, Finn Balor, Kalisto, you know, all the pieces of the puzzle. I like knowing, okay, Kalisto loses to Zero. What's Kalisto do next? Where is Kalisto going? Okay, Finn Balor's stepping up. He's going to be facing Zero. He's a former NXT champion. He lost the title to Kevin Owens. What's Kevin Owens doing? What has he been up to recently? What's going on there? And what about Tyler Breeze? He's moved on. What is up with Tyler Breeze? What's he doing? I like to control every single person in the puzzle, and perhaps that's just part of me being interested in storytelling. If I wasn't as invested in broadcasting as I am, I think my other career choice would have been to be a writer, just because I really enjoy controlling all the characters, seeing how they interact with one another, when you can switch people around and see how they interact with each other. I find that really fascinating. So to be limited to a single superstar isn't really my cup of tea. And though I say that, I'm still going to continue with the Career Mode series. At the moment, I'm not sure what the future of the series will hold, if I am still going to stay down in NXT and see how long I can ride that out, or if I will actually move up to the main roster and make some more progress there. Ultimately, Career Mode is not my priority. That's Universe Mode, and you can tell the recent lack of uploads from me since the game released. My upload rate hasn't been anything near what I wanted it to be. Career Mode is definitely going to be taking a back seat over the next several months. Ultimately, Career Mode has really been on the back burner. It's just the fact that Career Mode videos, I can get them out quicker than I was able to get SummerSlam uploaded. And I didn't want to have all this time with no videos, especially since I had the issues where I couldn't do commentary, so I needed to get videos up in order to bridge the gap to SummerSlam. That's why there have been more Career Mode videos than Universe Mode, though Career Mode has not been the priority. At this point, I do have episode 14 ready to do a commentary for, and I'm gonna do that and get that video uploaded. But at the moment, I don't have anything else beyond that recorded, whereas Universe Mode, I have the next 2-3 weeks recorded, ready to go, so I can get Universe Mode going in January, February, to start making that progress that I haven't been able to make since 2K16 was released. So Career Mode, I am going to continue it. I'm not entirely certain on what the future of it is, and it's going to be taking a back seat. Which also brings up my next topic, 2006 GM Mode. Where is it? When is it coming back? Well, I can tell you that SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 GM Mode is coming back in January. It is coming back in 2016. I had meant to bring it back this month, but since SummerSlam was delayed and production on really all the other series had been delayed, I had to delay GM Mode a little bit, just because I wanted to get the first pay-per-view in Universe Mode up and get that out of the way before I bring GM Mode back. And since I wasn't able to do that, I wasn't able to bring back GM Mode. There just wasn't much I was going to be able to do there. Although I'm going to be working on production for GM Mode next week, or I guess it would be this week by the time this video is uploaded. So hopefully, in the first week of January, I can get a GM Mode video up. Don't quote me on that. If SummerSlam is any indication, do not quote me on that. But I'm going to try to get a GM Mode video up as soon as possible. Universe Mode is still the priority. I'm not sure exactly where my priorities are between Career Mode and GM Mode, I'm going to try to keep that fairly even since I only have a few months of GM mode yet to go until I conclude that. But GM mode will be coming back in January. Now that brings up another topic, a very similar topic. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. When is that series happening? You've talked about it before. You're going to do a GM mode on that. You're going to play it through. When is this happening? Now here's the thing. This can kind of tie into my current real life situation. And I know I don't like to talk about my life that much, but this is a big channel update. It's state of the channel for the upcoming year. It's a huge update, which is why it's like 20 minutes long. If you can't already tell, this is a big update. And I don't typically do these, but this is really necessary. There's a lot I had to address. Real life stuff that's going on. I am a senior in high school. I'll be going into my second final semester of high school, and I'm busy planning for college. I have a part-time job that I'm working at, and I'm at school 5 days a week. So between all of that, I don't have as much free time as I did last year, or the year before, or the year before that. This is going to be one of the busiest times in my entire life. Not the busiest, I know that much, but it will be one. It'll be up there. It'll maybe be in the top 5, top 10. Not entirely sure. I'm just making guesses at this point. But I've been very busy, having to go to school 5 days a week, having a part-time job where I'm working 20, 25 hours a week, sometimes even closer to 30 hours a week, and then to have to fit in these YouTube videos in there elsewhere. And at the same time, if I'm always doing things, if I'm at school, work, and doing YouTube videos all the time, I'm going to get burnt out. So there are some times where I'll have like an off day where I don't do a ton of work on YouTube videos, and I just kind of hang out, I just relax, maybe watch some anime or watch some YouTube videos or whatever have you. Play video games. Doesn't typically happen much anymore, but video games maybe. So I'm often very busy. That's how it's been this year, and when I do have the time to get the videos done, I try to do them, but there are a couple of points where I want to just sort of take a bit of a break. And it's not those moments are far and few in between. A lot of the time, I'm working or at school, so I have very few hours of free time. I'm just cutting this part out because I rambled. I don't know where I'm going to transition this back to, unless I leave this in, because maybe I'll do it as a blooper thing at the end. I don't know. That's for future editing me to decide. So that last idea just sort of got away from me, but to get back to the point, after I get through the second semester of high school and senior year, I have had time to work on videos. That's if this was maybe junior year where I had a ton of core courses that I needed to do work for and homework, I don't think I would have made as much progress if I have, if I can even talk. But even still, I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on videos, which I'm a bit disappointed with, but it's out of my control. There's not much I can do there. So, talking about 2007 GM mode, when I'm going to be doing that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if I want to start the series now, because I'm not sure what exactly the future is going to hold when I do go off to college, how that first semester of college is going to be. So I'm not sure if I want to start the 07 GM mode this year. I'm sure that by 2017, I'm gonna have a clear idea of what my future with YouTube is. But at the moment, I'm not entirely sure. This is a very uncertain point in my life. I'm not sure really what my future holds, where I'm going. I have a good idea, but it's a very translucent image at the moment. Like, it's maybe 50% there. It's not, I don't have a clear-cut knowledge of where I'm going, what the future will hold for me. So, I'm not really gonna give a specific date on 2007 GM mode, because I don't want to start it and then go off to college and lose it for a little bit. I don't want to start the series and then just have it abruptly stopped and then abruptly pick back up again. So 07 GM mode, I might start it this year. I might hold off until 2017 to do that. And as well as that, if I finish up GM mode, like if I do this next game, I'm not sure what my throwback game is going to be after that, because I'll have Universe Mode, which Universe Mode will always be my main focus, unless they take the mode out of the game, and even if they do that, I'll still put together a Universe Mode somehow, if I can. But GM Mode, once I finish 07, GM Mode is pretty much done. I don't really want to retrace my old steps for any of the games, unless, I don't know. I don't know what, maybe I would come up with some other idea, and I could go back and redo one of them. But at the moment, I don't see that happening. Once I finish up 07 GM Mode and 06 GM Mode, that's pretty much it for GM Mode, unless 2K were to bring it back in a new game. If suddenly 2K17 has GM Mode, then I can do that, but I don't know where I'm going to go after GM Mode. So, as for the question, when are you going to be doing 2007 GM Mode, I don't have an answer yet. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to start that series. I'm going to do a playthrough of 2007 GM Mode. I just can't give a defined answer as to when that will be. I'm sorry if that's not really the answer you were looking for, but... So anyway, this was a long update. Probably, most of you have probably left by now. You've got to be really dedicated to be sticking around to this point in the video. So if you are still here, if you sat through my whole little rambling update there, let me know down in the comments section below. Let me know the comments. Smackdown, just bring it. That's going to be our little code word for today. I didn't do one for SummerSlam that I can recall, so we're going to do one for this update, because I feel this is really important stuff I'm discussing here. I talked a little bit about Universe Mode, and I talked about all my series. And this is really the future of the channel. It's uncertain at the moment. Just like everything else in my life, the future of this channel is uncertain. I know that I'm going to still be doing videos, and Universe Mode is going to be there, Career Mode is going to be there. There will be a GM Mode, so I know it's going to be there. I know what I'm going to do, I just don't know exactly when I'm going to do it, or how I'm going to do that. So, I don't really have a very creative way to end this. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all managed to survive my half an hour plus rambling update here. If it's even half an hour, I might have edited it so that it would be shorter than that. But that's it for this video. Universe Mode, my career. Yeah, GM Mode. 2016 is going to be a big year for the channel. If SummerSlam was any indication, we can only go up from here. So that's going to be it for this video. That's going to be it for 2015. I hope you all enjoyed the year. I certainly did. It was a big year for the channel. We made much progress, and I think things will only get bigger from here. So until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been MathWiz97, and I hope you all have had a magnificent 2015. And I hope you all have a fantastic 2016. I'll see you next time.